brothers. Ben, shut up.
Can you guys hear me? Deliberately.
Jordy, you may speak.
Thank you. Do you guys remember, I think it was like 2017, NPR actually did a story that it was next to impossible to translate Donald Trump in other countries just because of the ongoing just words that come out of his mouth. I could only imagine what it is now. I mean, take that statement, for example. It's completely ridiculous. My other observation from that clip, Ben, if you'd be so kind, would be that did everyone in Trump's orbit just sell their soul? You don't actually have to answer this. It's rhetorical. Just completely sell out, because that Rubio clip, he's actually standing strong. It sounds like he actually has a strong conviction there. And he's calling Trump out for exactly what he's doing now in 2024. So it's 2025. So it's unbelievable to see, the JD Vances who had the hard anti-Trump stance. And, it wasn't just anti-Trump to be anti-Trump. It was almost essentially like a close adjacent to a pro-democracy stance. But no, they've sold their soul to get closer and more power, closer to the power.
And of course, you don't have to go as far as JD Vance, because you had Marco Rubio right there on the stage, who's now the Secretary of State, going, "Oh, Donald, amazing plan to take over and occupy Gaza and own it. Oh, this is exactly what I'm excited for this. This is an amazing idea." Coward, such a tiny, the one thing that Trump was right about was the nickname Little Marco, because this is such a tiny human being, just a speck of a man, just such an insignificant, little, tiny human being. I'm not talking about in size, but I'm talking about in his intellectual stature. I'm talking about in just the way he's willing to sell out his values for power, the tiniest of people that you could possibly ever imagine. Marco Rubio, you pathetic little man.
You pathetic little Rubio, you little Rubio.
Little Marco.
Look, let's be clear though, too, is that we're just bullying now. But I mean, I guess you could bully
He
bullies.
deserves it. Marco.
Bullying bullies is not bullying. It's like when in like a math class, when you would have like negatives, it somehow became a positive or whatever.
Somehow.
If you bully a bully, it's a positive.
I love the extent when our math knowledge here is, brother.
Somehow it's magic.
Bullying a bully, all good. It's no longer bullying. But here's the thing. We also know that Donald Trump has is looking weaker than ever as well. I mean, with all of just think about all those memes out there with Claudia Sheinbaum and Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister Trudeau, President Sheinbaum. We're you just take a look at Mexico, for example. Donald Trump's like, look at the negotiation I got. 10,000 troops at the border. Donald, there's already 15,000. So you just agreed to negative 5,000 troops at the border. You literally just said you're going to have less troops at the border, and then all Trump's people go on. But now they're permanent. It's okay, where was that said on the deal? Number one. And then number two, Biden had far more troops on the border. All right, so you screwed that one up. What about Canada? You said you wanted to annex it, like the way Putin says he annexed Ukraine, take it over, conquer it. What'd you get, Donald? Okay, we got $1.3 billion in border security. I mean, you mean the same thing that was happening under Biden that was talked about in December? No, but he said it again to me. Okay, what else did you get? Fentanyl czar. Okay, well, how much fentanyl is coming in from Canada? None. But we're going to have a fentanyl czar there.
I think it's 40 pounds.
Just think about it basically. Okay, think about it from this perspective, though. If Vladimir Putin threatened Ukraine, Zelensky responds to Putin, hey, I know you say you want to annex Ukraine, that you said you're going to invade. What if I gave you a fentanyl czar? And Putin was like, okay, deal, even. And then that was it. I mean, I just want you to think about it. We have Trump using Putin's rhetoric, weakening the United States. And then when Trump is confronted by a united and strong Canada, good for them. We stand in solidarity with you, Canada people, Canadians who love democracy, and people across the world who love democracy, standing up to our humiliating fascism here in the United States. What does Trump do when he sees the stock market going down? He folds like the cheap suits that he wears instantly. I mean, in Panama, how embarrassing is this? The State Department puts out a tweet. We got a deal in Panama. The crossings are free. Then the Panama Canal Authority responds, not true. No, we didn't agree to that.
It's so embarrassing.
Didn't do it. Then they do, fake deals with Colombia. Look, we got Colombia to submit. What are you talking? You didn't get Colombia to submit. What are you talking? Colombia is not doing anything different either. It's the same exact thing that's happening in the Biden administration. All you've done is unite the world, and they all just think that you're just going to go throw a tantrum, then move on to the next one, move on to the next one, move on to the next one. But Russia's loving this. This has been Russia's favorite week. or favorite 2 weeks. For them to watch the self-destruction of U.S. power. This is Julia Davis. She does a great job. You should all follow her. She does Russian Monitor. I really like her work. Cackling Putin pals celebrate Trump's simply sensational first week of U.S. self-destruction. Nice alliteration there, too. But the thing I want to say here is, in addition to the obvious stuff that weakens America, there was something else that wasn't covered, but that Russian TV is talking about over and over again. And I'm not just talking about the nudes of Melania that they play on Russian TV to taunt Donald Trump all of the time. What Marco Rubio said on the Megyn Kelly show was viewed in Russia as submission, as an admission and a submission that the U.S. is done trying to lead the world. It's not being covered here. I watch Julia Davis Monitor Russia. So I'm telling you, this is nonstop. And they say that Rubio sounds exactly like their foreign minister, Lavrov. They go, this is how Lavrov talks. I want to show you the moment. Let's play it right here, where Rubio talks about the U.S. being part of a multipolar world where China and Russia basically have equal power. Here, play this clip.
So it's not normal for the world to simply have a unipolar power. That was an anomaly. It was the product of the end of the Cold War. But eventually you were going to reach back to a point where you had a multipolar world, great powers in different parts of the planet. We face that now with China and to some extent, Russia.
Okay, that right there, that statement, it's hard for me to characterize or even give the right words to what that was that you just observed. But for all of foreign policy, America saw itself as the leader of the free world, right? We'd call the president leader of the free world. The way that's being interpreted internationally is Rubio saying there's America, China, Russia, and then there's more to that clip where he goes, everyone focuses just on their own self-interest, who they're going to go after, what they need, and that's it. That's a complete 180 of American foreign policy, and that's exactly what Russia wanted to hear. And they viewed that as American surrender. And that's what they're saying over and over again on Russian TV. Brett, Jordy.